Liv Tyler's emotional revelation, discovering her true father and navigating a life between two worlds. For many, identity is a journey marked by subtle changes, but for Liv Tyler, it was an emotional detour that redefined everything she thought she knew about her own life. At just 11 or 12 years old, the actress, who would later enchant millions in the Lord of the Rings trilogy and Armageddon, discovered that her biological father wasn't who she had believed it to be her entire life. On a warm night at an Aerosmith concert, young Liv sat quietly next to her mother, former model and singer Bebe Buell. The energy of the crowd pulsed all around her, the stage lights danced across faces, and the unmistakable voice of Steven Tyler reverberated through the amphitheater. But for Liv, the most memorable moment of the night wasn't the performance. "We sat on a bench at this outdoor amphitheater," she shared on the April 13th episode of Sibling Revelry, a podcast hosted by Kate and Oliver Hudson, and she told me the whole story in the most sincere, beautiful way. Her mother had chosen that very moment, surrounded by music, love, and truth, to tell her that her real father was none other than the man who had just captivated the stage, Aerosmith's frontman Steven Tyler. The shock didn't settle immediately. As Liv recounted, the first wave was shock. She remembered returning home and sitting on a chaise lounge for hours, her young mind racing through the realization. "I remember sitting there for what felt like 3 days, but it was probably 3 hours, and coming to this conclusion of, whoa, I have 2 dads and all this love." Until that moment, Liv believed her father was musician Todd Rundgren. Rundgren, who had a relationship with Buell during the time of Liv's birth, had signed her birth certificate and raised her as his own. It was only later, as Liv noticed similarities between herself and Steven's daughter Mia Tyler, her half-sister, that questions began to surface. While many might view such a revelation as earth-shattering, Liv was surprisingly graceful. Her emotional intelligence at such a young age was remarkable. "It was very weird," she said. "I felt so much love. I was able to soak up the love that I could. I just was really excited about it because they're all so different and so lovely." Her words carry the wisdom of someone who found strength in emotional complexity rather than being overwhelmed by it. Though her heart held confusion, it also held understanding. And yet, amid all that love, there remained an undercurrent of sadness. Liv acknowledged the quiet pain that may still linger for Todd Rundgren, the man who had been there unconditionally. "It's probably still very hard and painful," she admitted. "I don't speak to him enough. I love him. I have brothers from him and I had a whole family with them. He took care of me like he was my dad." In that short sentence, Liv captured something many people spend a lifetime trying to reconcile: how love doesn't always follow biology and how truth can coexist with gratitude. Her story resonates beyond her personal life. It taps into a broader conversation about what it means to be the child of famous parents, a dialogue that's exploded in recent years with the rise of the so-called Nepo baby conversation, the legacy of fame and the weight of names. Liv's experience is deeply personal, but she's far from alone in navigating the challenges of fame by association. Many children of celebrities wrestle with dual identities, the one the public assumes they inhabit and the private self they work so hard to define. As the entertainment industry shifts to spotlight these Nepo babies, the perspectives of celebrities born into fame are more important than ever. Dakota Johnson, daughter of Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson, recently addressed the conversation head-on. "When that first started, I found it to be incredibly annoying and boring," she said on Today in February 2024. Her tone was playful, but her message was clear. The topic, while valid, can be reductive. She even embraced satire, participating in an SNL sketch mocking the discourse. "So the opportunity to make fun of it, I jumped at," she quipped. For Emma Roberts, the subject isn't new. At just 20, the Scream 4 actress spoke with Pop Eater in 2011, challenging the notion that her lineage gave her an easy pass. "A lot of people think that," she said. "They talk about nepotism, which I think is so ridiculous. Maybe someone can get you 1 part, but they can't really get you 10 parts. The tension between privilege and persistence is one many celebrity children face. Some, like Kate Hudson, embrace their background unapologetically. As the daughter of Goldie Hawn and stepdaughter of Kurt Russell, Hudson is fully aware of the doors her lineage may have opened. "I don't really care," she said to The Independent in 2022. "We're a storytelling family. It's definitely in our blood. If you work hard and you kill it, it doesn't matter." Kaya Gerber, daughter of supermodel Cindy Crawford, echoed similar sentiments. "I won't deny the privilege that I have," she told Elle in January 2023. "Even if it's just the fact that I have a really great source of information and someone to give me great advice, That alone I feel very fortunate for. Her candor is refreshing. Rather than denying the benefits of her lineage, she highlights how access is only part of the puzzle. No one wants to work with someone who's annoying, she added. Nepotism is prevalent, but I think if it actually was what people make it out to be, we'd see even more of it. Elizabeth Olsen, younger sister of Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, understands the internal battles this identity crisis can bring. I guess I understood what nepotism was like inherently as a 10-year-old, she revealed to Glamour UK in 2021. So concerned was she with forging her own path that she once considered dropping her famous last name entirely. There is some sort of association of not earning something that I think bothered me at a very young age, she said. Ben Stiller, son of legendary comedians Jerry Stiller and Mira, has frequently addressed the debate. In 2021, when a project involving several children of celebrities came under scrutiny, he took to Twitter. Just speaking from experience. I would bet they all have faced challenges. Different than those with no access. But ultimately, the industry is a meritocracy. While that may not always be the case, Stiller's point highlights a crucial truth. Talent and perseverance must eventually carry the weight. Fame might open doors, but it cannot sustain a career. Finding meaning in the middle. For Liv Tyler, the balancing act between privilege, truth, and identity began before her career ever took off. Hers wasn't just a story of fame or opportunity, it was one of heart, discovery, and resilience. To grow up believing one truth, only to be faced with another, and then to find a way to hold both with compassion. That's not just admirable, it's extraordinary. Her story reminds us that love can be messy and expansive, that identities can shift and still be whole, and that even under the spotlight, the most profound revelations happen in quiet moments. On benches, in bedrooms, through whispered stories passed from mother to daughter.